add the lane a little bit more with the cover stock of a urethane or even a resin now, these balls have really, really helped an average bowler, and especially a woman bowler.
When I first started bowling, there was the rubber balls, and then it quickly went into polyester balls, and they dominated the market through the 70s. In the early 80s came along urethane, which was more durable, had more hooking and hitting power than any ball prior to that. In the 90s, we have a new material. A resin has been added to the urethane to make it more reactive, to give more back ends, more hitting power, and is an absolute must for the high-performance bowlers. It's nice also because as we evolve with this material, we've been able to put it in mid-price balls for the everyday bowler to give them the opportunity to get that hitting power. For a player like me who doesn't throw a big hook, it's really a big advantage to have this material to get that big flip on the back end. So it's a great product.
To sum up, having a ball that's right for your skill level and your size and strength is very important. And remember, the new ball designs aren't just for the pros. They may be just what you need to improve your own game. How you grip your bowling ball will have a major effect on your ability to control the ball's motion as it travels down the lane. Basically, there are two types of grip, the conventional and the fingertip. The conventional grip is best if you're a beginner or a recreational bowler. With the conventional grip, the ball is drilled so the middle finger and ring finger are placed into the holes up to the second joint. The thumb is placed all the way into the thumb hole. The fingertip grip is for more experienced bowlers. This is the grip that allows you to generate more ball rotation at the release and create hook. The ring and middle fingers are inserted in the holes up to the first joint. The thumb goes fully into the thumb hole.
I use a relaxed fingertip. The difference between a relaxed fingertip and a full fingertip is in a full fingertip grip, you're completely maximizing your hand potential. The relaxed fingertip, your hand is just like it says, relaxed in the bowling ball. This way you have more control, and I find it more beneficial for a player with a very small hand or for a woman.
There are some people that go right to the next grip, which is the fingertip grip. This is the grip that you go right down to the first joint, used by most professionals in the world today and also the better players. You get a tremendous amount of turn with this grip with less effort. It does take a little bit of practice, though, when you're going from conventional to fingertip. I do recommend this for if you want to score the high, be the bowler that you can be, because you do generate a lot more power with this particular grip, and it's a lot more flexible. You can do a lot of different things with the drillings to create the roll, make the roll go higher or lower, or get a little more side turn or a little more forward roll. And if it's drilled properly, it can be very comfortable.
Whatever grip you choose, you'll need to have a pro shop operator drill your ball properly to match your grip and the way you release the ball. Also, you might want to try finger inserts for a more secure and more comfortable grip. As you progress as a player, you may want to change from a conventional grip to a fingertip grip. Talk to the people in your pro shop about your options. Of all the steps you can take to become a better bowler, none are more important than the 4 or 5 steps you take on the approach to the foul line. Let's look first at the 4-step approach. To determine your starting position with the 4-step approach, you simply start from the foul line and take 4 natural walking steps and a half step back toward the dots. Turn, and you have found what should be the right starting position. Let's look at the approach in slow motion. It begins with the proper stance, knees slightly bent, your back tilted forward at a slight angle. At this point, you are looking at your target, usually one of the arrows 15 feet down the lane or the pins themselves. For a right-handed bowler, the first step is with the right foot. For left-handed bowlers, the left. As the heel leaves the floor, the push-away begins and is completed by the end of the first step. With the second step in the 4-step approach, the ball reaches about the halfway point of the bowler's backswing. At the third step, the ball reaches the top of the backswing. usually about shoulder height, and begins its forward motion. Some people refer to this as the power step. The fourth step ends in a slide with knees bent as the ball comes forward and is released. At this point, it is important to keep good balance by keeping your head lined up over the sliding foot. And of course, a good follow-through is also essential. Let's look at the four-step approach again. First step, second step, third step, slide and follow through. Again, first step, second step, third step, slide and follow through. The four-step approach is favored by many recreational and league bowlers, as well as some pros. If this is the approach you find most comfortable, practice it over and over until it feels completely natural. The object here is consistency. The same approach repeated the same way every time, so you really don't have to think about it. Now let's look at another commonly used approach, one that many bowlers feel gives them a more fluid motion and a greater momentum as the ball is released, the five-step approach. As with the four-step approach, you begin the five-step by determining your starting position. Take 5 normal walking steps and a half step back toward the dots. Turn and you have found your starting position for the five-step approach. Now let's look at the five-step approach in slow motion. Proper stance. Looking at the aiming point. Now here is where the extra step comes in right at the beginning. The five-step begins with a normal step, with the left foot for a right-handed bowler and the right foot for a left-hander. Notice that the push-away does not begin with this first step. After this first step, the five-step approach is identical to the four-step. Second step with a push-away. Third step, the ball in mid-backswing. Fourth step, top of the backswing. Fifth step, slide, release, and follow through. Let's have another look at the five-step approach. First step, second step, third step, fourth step, slide and follow through. Again, first step, second step, third step, fourth step, slide and follow through. Remember that the five-step approach begins with the foot opposite your bowling hand. Left foot for right-handed bowlers, right foot for left-handed bowlers. And your push away of the ball does